Hey, what's up, guys? Nandra here. Welcome to another video. This video is gonna be titled "Spreadsheets and You." Now, at this time of recording, you should have seen the video that I had on tips and tricks for retaining information and getting better as a player. If you haven't, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description below. But I'll just go ahead and keep on with this video now. One thing that I left out on that thing, just because it was a very, very long video, and usually when I make these videos, I usually try to have a few ideas of what I want to say off the top of my head, and then just kind of say those, and then kind of go from there. But one thing that I left out was that something that you can do is you can use spreadsheets. Now this is an example of a spreadsheet for my boy HSK says the name. Alright, so I'm going to enlarge this so you guys can clearly see this, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. Alright, hopefully you guys can all see this perfectly. Alright, so as you can see here, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, there's 7 boxes. In each of the boxes, there's a different thing. If you don't know what a spreadsheet is, basically this is a way of compiling and sorting out detailed information across a long period of time. Now, in the first box, it's what class am I? So are you sword, are you dragon, are you rune, etc. Second box, what deck archetype are you? Are you D-shift? Are you control rune? Are you neutral rune? Are you neutral aggro, etc. And in the class after that, it's what class is my opponent playing. The class after that, obviously, what deck of that class are they playing? And then next you go, did you go first? If yes, if no, did you win? Yes, no. And then here for the note section. Now, all of these things are very, very important, but the note section, in my opinion, is the most important, because here, this is where you're gonna jot down some notes about okay, well, was there anything special about that matchup? For example, did you maybe do a play that they normally don't do, and did it work out? Or did your opponent throw the game or something like that? Or conversely, did you throw the game? And this part is going to be really important, just because there are certain things that we do in the heat of the moment which you might forget if you don't write it down. Now, writing something down is actually proven to help improve how long it stays fresh in your mind. Just because, again, there are some things we do that maybe was a misplay, we didn't realize it was a misplay, or something like that. Or conversely, that maybe it was a great play and we need to do it more. And that'll be and the note section will be your way for trying to memorize these things. Well, I say memorize, but in reality, the beauty of spreadsheets is that because you're writing or typing all of these things in, you don't have to rely on just the strength of your memory to remember. You can just when you're finished for the day, you can just go back and just look at these things and just look at, okay, well, this is why I won, this is why I lost, this is something I can maybe improve on, and you can go from there. Now, this was Disney's version. Now, normally because he's usually streaming when he does these, there's not as much detail in his. But let me show you an example of another one. Now, this is actually from his friend. All right, so as you can see here, hers is actually quite a bit more detailed, and you'll see that in the note section. She has a lot of she makes a lot of notes, just because obviously every game is going to be different to some extent. It doesn't matter if your opponent opens up the 1, 2, 3, 4 curve. To an extent, every game is going to be different in some way, shape, or form, because obviously you're not gonna be versus the same exact player who opens the same exact way every single time. That's just not gonna happen. And so, yeah, as you can see here, she did she does make a lot of notes, and these notes are all relevant just because there's some things that you'll see in a deck that maybe might not be the most optimal. For example, as you'll see in this note down here, it says that she was actually versus someone who played Pluto and Lord of the Flies. So clearly that's not an optimal shadow deck. Yeah, it's really important to make all these notes when you're playing, just this way you don't get any like false positives, and you don't like you don't kind of like accidentally like buy into hype, like, and this way you'll get a more accurate description as to how well your deck fares versus meta. Conversely, on top of this, if you detail all of these, then if you see they don't run into the issue of natural bias of, say for example, okay, blood's 40% of the ladder. If you see if you play versus four bloods in a row, you might think to yourself, okay, well, I'm only facing blood right now. And once you've kind of like made that bias, you won't actually realize that you're well, I'm playing versus other things here and there. Like, you're still gonna be focused on I'm only playing versus blood, and that's obviously not like the correct way to go about things. But yeah, like she has a lot of details here. But yeah. So this will be something that you can do. Ideally, like, I have seen like a few more like detailed versions of these spreadsheets. However, I'm pretty sure that the one I have here should be a good starting point for you. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and leave a like. Let me know what you think about spreadsheets down in the comments below. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.